Hello, everybody. My name is Douglas Arnold Armstrong. I'm the head honcho here at Happy Texas Reviews. Thank you very much if you guys are watching the live stream. If you're just watching after the stream ends, thank you also for watching this video. Please feel free to like, subscribe, join up as a group member, and let other people know that this is completely open and free to the public. I also wanted to say real quick, thank you for everybody that's brand new to this channel here on Facebook. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for the support. I know for a fact that because I said spread the word, you guys have actually spread the word, and other people have joined up here to join this Facebook group. So I just want to say welcome. Please don't feel afraid to just scroll down, watch my videos that you might have missed. I know there's a lot of videos to watch, but please watch, enjoy, and let me know what you think. And I'm sorry. I'm going to try to get I'm going to try to get through this review as fast as I can because honestly, I am exhausted. I had no energy whatsoever to get up this morning out of bed to go to work, and I had no energy at work, and I still don't. And I've got a slight head congestion and a possible sore throat because, it's Michigan and it's 32 degrees outside, so yay! And it really drives me insane that it was like 32 degrees this morning and there's people walking around in shorts and they're just like, oh, it's perfectly fine. And I'm just like, and then they complain when it's 60 degrees in the building. It's like, it's too warm. I'm like, you know what, just go to Antarctica and then tell me when it's too dang warm here in Michigan. Oh, God. So this is the requested, highly requested actually, movie, The Court Jester, the 1955 movie. This is probably so far the oldest movie that I'm going to review. I highly doubt there's going to be a movie that I review that is this old, just because it's so hard to be able to watch movies that were made in the 50s and 60s. On Google Play or DVD or Blu-ray nowadays. It's really hard to find that kind of stuff. The only reason I was actually able to watch this film is I found it on Google TV and Movies, and I just rented it for $5 and watched it once. Of course, I could have bought it for like $19.99 digitally, and I'm just like, yeah, I really don't care. So someone requested me to do this, and I made a deal with them, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch this if you watch Infinity War, and I honestly think that they got the better end of the deal because this movie just, oh, Grace, please have mercy on my soul when I do this review if you watch this. Oh. Me just sitting here having to think about trying to talk about this movie is making my head hurt because this movie is definitely something. It's it's a movie that I honestly I watched the trailer and I'm just like, this looks like a complete utter mess of a film when I watched the trailer for the first time. I had to watch the trailer a couple times to understand what this movie actually was about before I even watched the film. So I watched the trailer a couple weeks ago and I'm just like, are you sure this is the movie you really want me to watch and review? And this person's like, yes. And I'm just like, based on the trailer, please prove me if I'm wrong, but based on the trailer, it's a mix of Robin Hood, Snow White, The Wizard of Oz, and a bunch of other Disney films. And I'm just like, oh, this is going to take forever. Please tell me it's short. It's just like, oh, it's short enough. I'm just like, this movie is an hour and 40 minutes long, and I can tell for a fact that there are certain scenes in this movie that drag on forever. Like, we get it. This person's dead. That person just died. That person just died. We don't need to spend 10 minutes or whatever talking about how they died. Like, it's not like they give a lot of characters any meaningful backstory whatsoever. And I'm just like, hurts my head. I'm gonna eat something. Oh, that's better on my throat. Seriously, I watched it last night. I came into work this morning and talked about to the person that wanted me to review this movie and watch it, and I just screamed bloody hell, and so I think that's contributing to my voice. So, thanks for that. So basically, the overall storyline is that this dude, played by Danny Kaye, and just for the sake, because honestly, they might mention every character's actual name in the film maybe once, and then other times they're just like, oh, they're just their stereotypical, evil tyrant king or the princess that's a brat. And so, just for that sake, I'm gonna just be using actors' names and just general terms because honestly, the characters' names in this movie, even if they had them, were boring and only said once, and you're not gonna remember them, and I won't remember them ever. I mean, I just watched this movie less than 24 hours ago, and just I don't care. I don't think anyone else is gonna care either. So basically, the overall storyline is to protect the last true heir to the throne. Basically, this tyrant king, he did this purge. He wiped out all the royal family except for this one baby by magic, and it's kind of like Anastasia in that sense. And so he kills all the royals, but this baby survives because of this Black Fox Robin Hood rebel saves him or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And so we have a movie. And so Danny has to protect this child and make it so he can survive long enough to ascend to the throne and take back the kingdom of England. And so Danny, he starts off as a carnival. He ends up leaving after the scourge happens and wipes out most of the royal family. Then he ends up joining the rebels of the Black Fox. And then he becomes a court jester in order to steal something. That way the child can get smuggled in and out. The plot is really confusing even with me trying to review this. I've wrote it down and it still makes no sense. So they're trying to steal some magical key that's a tunnel from the forest of where the Black Fox is, so their troops can get into the castle, take it over, and place the baby on the throne so the baby can become king and everyone lives happily ever after. But of course, nothing ever goes according to plan in a movie like this. So I'm going to talk about the positives and then the negatives. The opening credit scene, this person that told me to watch this movie said you have to watch the credits at the very beginning because it's funny. And I'm just like, is it anything like Marvel? And she's like, no, but it's still funny. And I'm just like, okay. It's not. The credits are just odd and creepy with all that singing. What else? Danny Kaye, he is... he's amazing. His acting is on 100% par with this movie. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm sorry if I seem to have no energy. I feel like this movie wanted to put me to sleep. And it did, and I'm still dealing with the side effects the next day in the afternoon. Oh, God, I'm probably take a nap. So like I said, the story plot is very similar to other Disney movies that you've probably seen 100 different times. There's great musical scores, great dancing, and great singing and songs and everything. Phenomenal job. The choreographing of what goes on in the movie is just phenomenal. This comes from somebody that spent, let me think, third, fourth, about 9.5 years in the marching band. So please understand when I say I understand how to do choreography, and that choreography is a talent, and getting it right really does pay off if you do it well. They do it well, so I do understand how they do that. I'm just saying it because, like, oh, that was really cool. Like, I understand the process and the dedication and the time and effort it takes to do those types of choreographing scenes, and they did a great job with it. There are a couple times that I think it was hard to understand the main story, but in general, you're able to follow along as long as you're not falling asleep like me and my mom almost did while watching it. The quote-unquote love triangle in this movie I thought was also really interesting. Of course, Danny's kind of stupid during that barn scene. I'm just like, this woman is hitting on you. She's like, she wants to be with you. And he's just such a dumb guy that I'm just like, she wants you to make love with her. Like, wait, are you stupid? Do you have somebody else in your life? Do you really not want a woman? I'm like, come on. And I understand it's supposed to be funny because of that, but I'm just like, it really hurt my head when I was watching that. I'm just like, okay, this guy really doesn't get out much. Danny ends up getting hypnotized in the movie by the quote-unquote witch wizard or whatever. It was really funny, the whole snapping of the fingers to make him hypnotized, snapping his fingers to get him unhypnotized, and they used that throughout the movie hilariously, and it becomes so funny that my mom started snapping her fingers because she was getting actually really annoyed with this whole hypnotizing with the snapping and unsnapping thing. She started doing it towards the end of the movie. I'm just like, yeah, Mom, I get it. It's really becoming a pain in the butt, but it was such a pain in the butt that it was funny and hilarious. Um, when Danny is the actual court jester in the movie and he's in the court and he's doing the dancing and singing in front of the king and the princess, I think that was hilarious. Very, very funny scene throughout. There's no language, there's no nudity. This movie is, I believe, PG just because, there's sword fighting in action. Where than that, I would rate it G, but it's PG, but it's good. It's hilarious throughout. There's definitely a lot more comedy in this movie than I actually was thinking there was going to be. Most of it landed with me and made my insides hurt because I was laughing so hard at certain things. And then there's some things that, because I was laughing so hard at certain scenes, that kind of just I grazed over. But I did catch them, and I'm just like, yeah, this movie is nothing but a hilarious comedy ride. And it does have a decent ending. Bad guy gets defeated, good guys win, everyone's happy ever after. The end. It's definitely worth watching once. I'm not gonna own it or rewatch it unless someone really wants me to. And my brother or another family member is like, "Hey, can we watch this?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll rent it for another $4 or $5 and just watch it on Google Play." I would only, own and watch it again if you're really into like the old 50s, 60s classical films like that. Otherwise, just watch it once to say, "Hey, I've watched it and I know what happens." But other than that, move on. The things that I really don't like was when Danny is swinging. Sorry. When Danny is swinging from room to room on the exterior part of the castle, it makes really no sense of how he does it. The rhyming in the movie gets old real fast and extremely annoying. I like the singing, I like the dancing, I like the music, but the rhyming needs to die in this movie. I don't know why it was in here. It was too much, just too much. The whole princess telling the witch, I think she tells the witch, which is her quote unquote friend, like at least 5 to 6 times, if my lover dies, you die too. And I'm just like, okay, we got it the first time. Why throughout this movie did you have to say the exact same dialogue 5 to 6 times? And every time that she says it, it gets more obnoxiously annoying. Like she was the actress herself, the princess, hated having to say it. Like they couldn't come up with anything different for her dialogue wise to say, and it shows. And it's just like it reminded me like if he died, you die too. And it reminded me because it added to the whole Wizard of Oz thing. It's like I'll get you, my pretty. And I'm just like, oh god, makes me want to hurt and die on the inside because of that. Things just happen because, and things happen that make absolutely no sense. I'm not going to go into a lot of details and whatnot. Just realize that if you really want to enjoy this movie, watch it while you're drunk. Technically, I was going to, but because of me recovering from a physical injury, I was on antibiotics, and I just finished taking them yesterday, and so I couldn't drink because of them. So, maybe if I was drunk and I really didn't give a care what was playing, maybe I'd actually care about watching this movie. Just like, hey, there's a movie on. And lastly, Danny's sword while he's fighting this dude at the very end. It's really funny if you pay attention close enough to Danny's sword while he's swinging it back and forth. The sword doesn't stay in a solid position. The metal sword part that they're supposed to ram somebody in with, it actually bends like at least 2 to 3 times. And I'm just like, you could tell they didn't care that the prop was broken and they just left it in there. So overall, I thought this was a pretty decent movie. I was definitely, expecting to be not all that entertained. I expected this movie to be below average. I didn't expect it to be so funny and hilarious throughout. I really thought I was going to fall asleep. I almost did, but there was enough hilarious things happening and a decent, cool plot that was keeping me awake throughout. Definitely would encourage you guys to at least watch this once. I know for a fact you can rent it on Google Play and watch it for $4 or $5. Um, you could probably find it at your local library too. If you get lucky, you might find it at um, Family Video or Redbox or whatever. As far as buying it, you can buy, of course, on Google Play and online sources like Best Buy or something like that. So I'm going to give The Court Jester, the 1955 movie, a 8.5 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do plan on hopefully being able to see Halloween, the new one that's coming out this weekend tomorrow morning. So I will be doing a review for that if I get the chance to watch it. It really just depends on what's going on with me tomorrow. And of course, I will be doing Lights Out also. After that, I will be putting up a poll of what trilogy of movie, and when I mean trilogy, I do mean, it can be Hunger Games and it can be, including of a part 1 and 2. So I will have a pull up for you guys in a couple weeks to determine what trilogy you guys would like me to watch and review next. Have a great day, guys. I'm going to go take a nap because Grace, you. Oh. I'm never going to watch this movie again. No. No. Done. Mm-mm. Bye, everybody.